Dale, really?
That was a free plug. All right, so let me make sure.
Should I be sitting on that side?
Just now, huh? So, this is right. Make sure I still have. Boom, boom, boom. Jump in, share the live, let us know where you are at, where you're inside. We're about to start it, and just before I do that, I'm just making sure everything copacetic. Is it word? Is it word? Copacetic.
Not today.
Gotta make sure it's all in a. What is this? What is this? Yes, it's me.
So
Right.
Copacetic.
Copacetic.
In excellent order.
In an excellent order, you said?
In excellent order. That's the meaning of copacetic.
Oh, you see? And I was just using the people and them words. Like I just use the people and them words and
bad English in English class.
eh?
We learned bad English in English class.
Nah. My English. I pass English.
Right, shout to my teacher that had faith in me with English in school, boy. My English was horribly poor.
Serious?
What?
No.
Then I did journalism and I was forced to change it.
I had a crush on my English teacher, so
I had a crush on my Spanish teacher,
so I was very happy to be in English class. Yeah, I was very happy to be in English class.
I could take on my English teacher.
All right, so I think that is it there. 4, 5 pound.
And according to Professor Google, copacetic was mostly used by black entertainers like Louis Armstrong and dancer Bill Robson. They used to gather under a maple tree in front of the Alabama Theater. To be copacetic was to have everything in order.
And we was correct technically in the use of the word.
You weren't just correct, you were correct.
All right, so let's switch.
Good evening, listeners. I'm joining Dale, the voice, today because he's promised us a whole month of excitement. Before we get started, and using Dale's famous words, we've got to pay some bills. And in order to do so, first off, we've got words have impact. Words have power. Indeed, words matter. Have you ever thought about this? Every word in the world has a meaning. Think about it. Every word uttered in any language means something. And just as words can inspire, challenge, and transform, words can also hurt, wreck, and break. Join us every Monday, starting Monday, September 4th, from 11 a.m. to noon, as we host Dr. Madonna Doyle in a thought-provoking show, Words Matter. Words have started revolutions and mended hearts. Our words define our worlds. Effective communication is the key to every successful relationship. And words matter is where the communication begins. Tune in every Monday from 11 a.m. to noon, only on 91.9 The Street FM. The holidays are almost over, so it's time to head on down to the #1 bookstore in the country today for the biggest back to sale now. Yes, people, Charon's bookstore still carries the cheapest and widest range of kindergarten, primary, secondary, and tertiary level textbooks, school uniforms, stationeries, and anything you require for school. You name it, Charon's has it. They are open every day at 4 locations: Eastern Main Road to Napuna, San Juan, Ground Level, and Level 2 Trincity Mall, and the newest location, number 10, Diego Martin Main Road. You can call Charon's Bookstore at 663-1884 right now, or visit them on Facebook and Instagram. So don't miss Sharon's massive back-to-school sale on now. Join the winning team with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. to 12 noon, and every Wednesday night from 7:05 p.m. to 8 p.m. live on the street 91.9 FM. As he talks about La Viva, the power of 5 fruits, one of the most powerful antioxidant supplements on the market today. The 5 superfruits in La Viva are mangosteen, acea, pomegranate, guju, and noni. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health performance and disease. Listen to Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. and Wednesday at 7:05 p.m. on the street 91.9 FM as he gives live testimonials of the La Viva healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079, or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com. Last chance to shop summer savings at Furniture Plus. Get up to 10% off smart TVs and sound systems, up to 20% off dining furniture, up to 25% off appliances, up to 35% off bedroom collections, up to 40% off home office. Plus, shop combos galore. No cash, higher purchase plans available. All stores open Monday to Saturday. Shops of the Rumor Store open Sunday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Check press and social media for details. The Street 91.9 FM is now going live on Instagram. Follow, like, and share our page as you can see all your favorite shows live on Instagram at The Street 91.9 FM. For a new on-the-go experience in radio, simply go to Play Store on your Android device and download Instant Radio. select Trinidad and Tobago, and click the Street 91.9 FM so you can listen to us wherever you are. Back to you, Dale. So Dave wanted us to talk about relationships today.
She said back to me like it's what's that news? Yeah, like a weather reporter or we outside the president's office here right now, and we're bringing to you this live broadcast. Back to you now in the studio there. Yeah.
Well, you are the voice after all.
Really?
Yeah. And people are tuning to hear you. They're not tuning in to hear me.
It's you that want to hear, not me.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Well, if you want to hear more from me, then please dial in and give us your views on relationships.
So, the thing about it is, and let me just probably give a little rundown as to what is going to start happening in the next couple of weeks, you know. It's a show. All right, I'll fix it from here. So it's a show that just press the space bar in front of you, the keyboard. Just press the space bar. Right, yeah, because music started to play. Right. So what happened is that this show is supposed to be a show of like informative. It's a show that I believe that the elders and the young people could come together in terms of understanding the both sides. So what I don't want to say elderly person, but what a mature person or somebody with more experience, what they would think about, how they will deal with a situation, and probably they would have gone through something like that in the past and have dealt with it, and we now come, and they probably able to guide you in a different path. Relationships is one of the things that a lot of people have problems with. Some people don't have the right avenue to talk to somebody where a relationship is concerned. One of the biggest things too, I believe, with men don't have an avenue to vent. Women as well too, but I realize that a lot of times with relationship advice, more single people just give advice to people who in relationships than people who are in a relationship to give advice to people in relationships.
The theory sometimes is better than the practical. Sometimes.
I mean, yeah, but like for me, I honestly believe that single people could give a certain amount of information.
Their perspective,
Their perspective on how they see things and whatever. But there are times that
what's it saying? The blind leading the blind?
Something like that. And then too, what has ended up happening is that, a lot of people can't really figure it out in terms of, all right, I'm in a relationship, I'm having an issue. If you don't know what it's like to be in a relationship, you don't know what it's like to be in a committed relationship, you don't know what it's like to have that, you cannot relate to how I feel. And then you're going to give me advice based on your singleness. And
or soloist.
Your soloist. And then I will end up being a solo as well. And the thing about it is, what I want us to understand is that the show is not going to be giving people advice. It is going to give you ideas where you could sit, hear the different parts everybody takes, and then you choose which one speaks to you and you make your decision. Huh?
You know, have a Trinidad Tinder.
Like a Trinidad Tinder. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? But what is going to happen is eventually, what I'm thinking is that it's going to leave the studio and we're going to have a set and we're going to have people coming in, telling us their stories, sending us messages. We would
Are you thinking Jerry Springer?
You could say it's going to be like a Jerry Springer. It's going to be like a Trinidad Jerry Springer. However, we're going to bring in health professionals. We're going to bring in like psychologists. We're going to have, since we say Jerry Springer, we're going to have the lie detector test. We're going to also do like do paternity test. No, it's based on your situation. Because remember when people send in their situation based on the situation, and they're willing, because sometimes somebody may send their situation but they want to remain anonymous. So then we may not be able to publicly help them. But we will read out the situation, get people to call in, probably have a live panel, but the panel will be probably like on Zoom and that kind of stuff. And they will be able to share their views on it. Callers could call in, say how they feel about it. And then we go from there. So that's the whole thing about it. So if your situation, let's just say you send us and you say, I cannot trust my husband. I believe he have children outside. He's not telling me the truth. I want to know. And you really want to know. We will bring you and your husband on the show.
But
we will get investigators.
Dale, the thing is, Dale, people will say, I really want to know. But
they don't really ever know. No, you don't ever really want to know.
Yes.
It hurts.
And also, yes, it does.
It hurts.
Right down on that betrayal of trust. But here's a thought from an acquaintance. Well, not a thought. There's an acquaintance that I have that he actually says that every night he asks himself, if I were to ask my wife to marry me this evening, would she say yes? Relationships take work. And I think a lot of people take that for granted. Oh, yes, I love you, I love you, I love you. But then the minute there's a hiccup, that maybe something simple, the washing machine is broken, you need to get clothes done, boom, fight starts. Okay, and when I say fight, I mean like quarreling, being upset. You know, the dog looked at you in the wrong way that particular day. Or perhaps even something happened at work. And you bring it home, and then, boom, arguments start. And you may not necessarily know what triggered it, but the person that you are sharing living space with, that you say you love, they are getting the brunt of that, outburst. So if relationships do take work, and I appreciate very much what my acquaintance says.
Right.
That he asks himself every night, would my wife still say yes if I were to ask her to marry me tonight or this moment?
Right.
And I think that means that he keeps putting in the effort to ensure that his wife is happy. There's another story that I read. I don't know, of course, if it's true or not, but I think it means a lot. In that the wife said she realized things were going wrong when the little things that he used to do, her husband used to do, he stopped doing.
Right.
And as such, she realized then that their relationship was in trouble.
Right. Because they get comfortable.
Comfortable, and also that apparently he used to chase down, according to this story, and as I said, I don't know how true it is, but I think it does make a lot of sense, that he would chase down this particular type of cereal for her, and every month that cereal would be there in the cupboard. And then one month she realized they're out of cereal. Okay, she thought to herself, maybe he can find it. But then it happened again the second month, no cereal. Third month, again, no cereal. And she realized that he had lost that desire to
look for the
cereal for her.
Right.
And that's when she said she realized that her marriage was in trouble. And I think that if people remain alert, they can see that these little things that are important, stop. And then step back and say, okay, what's going on here?
But do you think, right? No, when we're talking, because we went straight into marriage.
It could be people living together.
Yeah, but it could be people so we
living in different places and spending time.
Let's just say you're living together, you have somebody, y'all are in a relationship. And I realize that a lot of times, and I will reach to that point, but a lot of times we get into a relationship, and the work that was done for us to get into that relationship, because after a while we get tired, or it becomes a routine, and no longer that I love you and I'm doing this and I'm going out of my way to do this, but it's now, this is our routine, it's a chore, I do it, and with anything as a human being, we get fed up of doing chores, and then what happens is that you will start to feel, because you're accustomed with this, then what comes to your mind is, he don't love me anymore, or she don't love me anymore. And sometimes that's not the case. And to me, what I've realized, especially like in a relationship, is that communication, in terms of that blunt, honest communication, it's never really there.
Yes.
We will quicker vent with a friend.
Yes.
And tell a friend, I feel like he don't love me anymore. I feel like he must have an ex-woman. This time he not none, you know.
Yes.
He must have an ex-woman. He must be thinking, go and get your little, and whatever.
Yeah.
And this time, you know, it's not that. It's more or less the fact that, here what's going on. We both need to be sensitive and understand that, yes, baby, I know I want you to have that cereal. But, oh, God, sometimes you go and look for your cereal for yourself, too, now. No, I mean, that helps because...
Well, yes, that can do.
It helps.
But then also, as, you know, words matter, words have power, words have impact. I'm erring on the side of caution with the word blunt.
In terms
free of conversation. So to have that communication, but it's to be diplomatic as well.
Right.
So the husband might say, oh gosh, you're looking like Godzilla when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
or,
well, I mean,
or as we say, or as we say, you know, the story about the wife, girlfriend, perhaps even the sister, might ask the male, does my bum look big in this? And he'll go, yes.
There's no correct answer.
But
Exactly. There is
exactly.
no... And why? This is my thing, right?
And so it's about being diplomatic, softening it, not going like a
But
boom.
you see, the thing is, right, now, I have a different view on that. Because I feel like if I soften it, I'm lying to you.
You can say, darling, I love you no matter what you wear.
If you wake up and your breath smelling stink, baby, your breath is smelling horrible. I need you to correct that. I love you enough. Because my thing is, look, for instance, I went with a friend and we were sitting and talking, eating, laughing and that kind of thing. And one of the things we were watching is, watching how some people were dressed. Walking with we would have assumed their significant other. And they were walking and I'm like, I would not let you walk out the house like that.
But then there are women who will say, it's my body, it's my choice,
and
I will wear what I want.
And this is where I believe that we are very tied up and mixed up where relationships are concerned, because I believe that if you and I are together, we are representatives of each other.
Yes.
Right? And that means that I represent you and you represent me. I don't want to go out on the streets and look silly. And looking silly doesn't mean in what I have on, because your behavior could have me looking silly.
But Dale, too, you're talking about as in referencing the female. I was at a wedding a few years back, and the pastor said to the couple, he had us rolling in laughter, but one of the takeaways I took from that he said to them, to the husband, whose name was Harold, and Shirley was the wife, or the bride-to-be. He said, Shirley, if I see Harold looking a little unkept, a little unput together in the market, I'm going to blame you.
Yeah.
Harold, if I see Shirley looking a little unkept, out of sorts, I'm going to blame you.
Right.
And the message I took from that is that you're supposed to look after each other and represent each other well. Yeah. So you're saying, I don't want to see her looking a certain way because you're representing me.
Right.
But I think, again, coming back to relationships and partnership, it is on both parties.
Yeah, well,
take that interest and that care.
And what I'm saying is that I believe that it should reflect on both sides. It should always reflect on both sides. And to me, that's how it is that I look at it as, whatever you do, you represent me. And I wouldn't come and say God with that. But I would always come and say, baby, what's going on with your hair? What's going on with your nails? What are you doing here? Come now. Go and do this. Go, you have money? Come. Take a... No, we also have to understand, too, that there are females, and I think that is not their fault. They're being treated... They're being taught nowadays that you have a man to send you to do your hair, your nails, your makeup, your everything. The man has to spend all his money.
Yes.
And when you check it sometimes, these females, and I only say these females because I'm a man, they don't really love you. They don't really like you. They just like the fact that I have the convenience of being able to get all these materialistic aesthetics. And then after that, because sometimes when I asked a friend the other day, I say, if you had to choose between spending quality time and money, which one would you choose? No, they answered and said, well, I like real attention, so I choose...
Money.
I know, she was like, I choose the
There's a
attention.
call coming through.
Yeah, I could swipe on...
All right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I choose attention. So I was like, okay, no problem. All right, cool, yeah. And then, you swipe it already?
Yep, they're not yet.
Yeah, once you see it, they could swipe on...
Hi. And it comes through, I have to speak on speaker.
And you just put up the line where you're seeing phone 1 and 2. Yeah, just put it up all the way. And the next one too. Call inside.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I knew it was man.
Well, you know, in 90% of what you guys talk about is exactly what happened, because, as the man say, if you look at it actually, nobody loves nobody. Pay your money and take what you want and get out and go. Let me, one of the worst things you could ever find, an upsetting thing. You leave your wife home in the morning in the clothes that she get up and they come and meet her in the same, come back in the evening and meet her in the same clothes. That is the worst thing in the whole world. And if you tell her about it, she might frown her face to tell you some kind of funny stupidness.
Yes,
that
but
is
then...
the worst thing.
But then, Mano...
So these are some of the things women have to look at.
Right.
I see in the morning, in my area, you could see what's going on in the area in McQueen. We could see ladies in the morning, they come outside, they plant away. And in the evening, they still have on the same clothes.
But men do the same thing too, Mano.
Huh?
Men do the same thing too. The lady leaves home in the morning, and the man is in the particular t-shirts, pajama bottoms, perhaps even his underwear.
Men don't sweat as much as ladies, right?
No, we don't sweat. We glow, right?
A man is a different thing in that kind of case.
Yeah.
A man could wear pants for about 3 days.
Right.
You understand? A woman can wear a dress for about 3-4 days, same thing. And when you pass by them, they have a little kind of office, maybe you can't tell them nothing.
Right.
You understand? So women, all they better buck up on all themselves and not be insulting all you or something like that. But this is what has to happen. Don't think all you something.
But Mano too.
Cleansy,
Yeah,
and
but
nice
Mano...
and be respectable to the man. Go on.
Yeah, but Mano, the man has to respect the woman too. Because many times I've gone out, even just to cinema. I've gone to cinema, and the woman is dressed beautifully, and the man is in jeans or gym pants, and worse yet, it's hanging down halfway from his... It's in the core.
Yeah, man, go on.
But you know, the pants, the jump pants, the jeans hanging down halfway from their bottom. What's that about?
Well, you see,
And the woman has put in the effort.
well, that's the thing. She like them kind of guys. You know, that is the next thing. The thing about it is that that's probably the kind of person or individual that she likes. Or is attracted to, or you know, whatever the case may be where that's concerned, and you're entitled to that. I know for me, my type of woman is I don't really have a type, but you must carry about yourself a certain way, you know.
Yep, and
my favorite type was it was my son mother, you know. And even I suggest, you know, hey, tie yourself in a certain way, you know, hey, you had to do your hair, what's going on with you? Even when we break up, I was like, what's going on with you?
But was she doing her hair and looking put together when you met?
Yeah.
And
but what has happened is, right, let me tell you what's happened, and I realize this happened a lot. When you get in a relationship, at certain points in time, you start to get comfortable. Mm-hmm. When you get comfortable, things start happening. Weight gain is what?
But by the man?
By mainly the females tend to gain weight when they are in a relationship.
Or when they've been pregnant. Women gain weight when they've been pregnant.
Besides pregnancy, when a woman is comfortable, she puts on weight because she eating. She eating.
And men too?
Yeah, but the man don't put on as much weight as the woman.
Oh, come on, Dale.
Because we just work hard. And then when all this other stress, we just lose the weight.
We stress you men out?
All the time. Every single
day. But then there's also the saying, I love you, now change. So you have to make up your mind based on what the person that you meet. Is it the person you fall in love with or the idea of them?
Now, this is what I tell people, right? I had the opportunity to talk to some young guys. They're now in the teen, the blood hot, the blood close to the skin. So, you know, they're like rabbits all over the place. And we were having a conversation, and I was talking to them, and I was being very serious because I was listening to their convo whole time, and, you know, this one, and Miguel, and Miguel, and Miguel, and this and that. And I was listening to them, and I asked this simple question. I said, you saying that, you know, you love this person, you're this, you're that, and the other, right? If this person is to getting an accident, God forbid, and something happens to them where their physical appearance is affected, or they no longer could satisfy you in the bed, would you still stay with them? Would you still be in a relationship with them? Would you still have the same energy towards them? And they all paused and watched me like I am from hell. Why would I have just said that? Because some of them, the answer was automatically no, I would not stay. And then my thing is, and this is my motto, if I can't see myself staying with you through thick and thin, in the good times, in the bad time, you're sick and I'll stay with you and I'll be at your side, then I don't want no part of you. Because it's going to be a wreck at the end of the day. Now that's a dangerous thing as well. Because if we fall out and we break up, I don't know if anybody else is playing normal, but when you break up with somebody that you love and you care about, you just feel like you're going crazy.
Yeah, but it's called a banker, isn't it?
Boy, it's a bank truck. You still talking car? You still talking car? It's trailer truck. The bank trailer truck. No, brother. Let me tell you something, eh? I have a partner, and I have a story to give you all just before too. But I have a partner. I remember a time I was going through my little thing. I was, you know, I had a breakup. And he was telling me, boy, don't study that, thing. And he real going through the, he real talking and thing. Now, boy, girl, you're a soft man, thing, love, blah, 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 thing. How would you tell who that man is? And then, some time back recently, he called me. Snotting his nose. Crying. Hear him now. He say, boy, I think I love this woman, boy. Now hear it, and I'll be real truthful with you. He was still is in a relationship where he has his children's mother. They're living together, and he would have left. He was unfaithful in the relationship and met this next person, and felt he was head over heels over this person. He fell in love, and when the person said, "You know what, I'm gonna leave you and go back to my boyfriend because I feel more secure with him," or whatever the case may be. She love him, she don't love him, and he love her. And he start to go mad. He don't know what to do. He come down by me. He lie. He take. I say, you little watch here. You're telling me, but look, you know. And the thing about it is, that's why it's like I hear people when they say, I don't get a banker, I do this, but you haven't met the right person to give you that. And when it says you get that connection with that person, and it's like a whole different scenario entirely. And then you know what it is to go from somebody telling you, I love you, I care about you, call you, I miss you, for you to be having random conversations, to be having nothing.
And imagine turning up on your doorstep.
Correct. And then from that to, do you miss me? No, I don't miss you. I don't love you. I don't want to be with you. That is like somebody, it's better you shoot me.
Yes.
You know?
That can be pretty rough.
And the thing about it is, and this is why I was also trying to show like young people, and there are other persons as well who get into relationships, and they're not really, they have no feeling involved, you know. Relationship is more of companionship and company to them than it is about actually having a relationship.
Or just for what happens either in the horizontal or vertical position.
Correct.
You know, it's about the sexual attraction rather than this is someone I want to wake up to every morning.
It's more about
his or her hair all over the place.
Yeah, it's more about that.
Yes.
It's more about emotion in the ocean than it is about, having that because I'm sure, and the thing about it is, what I wanted to do too was bring couples in, but then I think I might destroy some relationships because there are people that would be in a relationship and don't even know what is the other one's favorite color, what they like, what they dislike. Some of us, no, I'm bad with dates. I'm bad with dates, I'm bad with names.
Yes.
So don't ever ask me about birthdays, don't ask me about...
But there's technology now to help with that.
Yeah, the technology is there.
In the olden days, it would have been the cardboard calendar, right? The paper calendar. Right. But now you can put it in your phone. Yes, you count on your phone, an alarm, an alert, a week before, right? But, let's just look quickly at the comments on Facebook. Listra Demata says, Dale, yes, the men belly start getting big because they get too lazy.
That's why she wanted to read the comments. I know that's what he is like bacchanal. That's why she wanted to read the comments.
Donna Seeley says, bad man style, young girl, love that bum pants.
But that's when you're talking about the pants below.
Yes, and the overall look. Yeah. Now, I have a story to share. I always have stories. You're talking about what would happen if one person in the party, the husband or the wife, took sick and, became disabled or whatever. I actually witnessed that in that my mom lost her eyesight in the 1980s, mid-1980s, as a result of diabetic complications. And my dad, he stuck with her through thick and thin. Now, there's the expression that hurt people hurt people. So therefore, we have to be careful for that. My parents did not have the most ideal of family life as they're growing up, but they stuck to each other like glue. And I don't know if it's the generation or the time or the fact that they both came from certain family backgrounds, but they stuck to each other like glue. So therefore, when my mom now started losing her eyesight and when she lost her eyesight, my dad took on a bigger role, to the extent that my mom was always at a certain educational institution doing one course after the next. She loved psychology, etc., etc. And one time I remember, and they're both passed now, but I have these memories of my dad saying that he used to go with her to the exam and write her answers for her. Of course, there's an invigilator with them, and my dad would write what my mom, articulated. And he would joke, but I should get the certificate too, because I'm there in the exam.
Yeah, you write the exam.
So,
it's only right.
Yeah. But from their childhood, I don't think they learned that from their parents. My dad's mother passed when he was months old. My grandfather supposedly did not have much input in his life. But what my parents dreamt for us, I'm one of 6, what my parents dreamt for us, what they wanted for us, to the listeners, I grew up in Belmont. 6 of us all went to the UK to study. And that is a feat in and of its own right. When my mom passed, I did a quick survey of all my 5 other siblings. And between us, we had been to 50 countries. Okay? Right. Now, if you think back to Belmont, then we started going to the UK to study. And then between us, some of course 1 or 2 did more countries than others, but between us, 50 countries. But my parents stuck to each other like glue. So here's my question now to you, Dale, and to listeners. So remember, you can dial in and share your views with us. Let's hear from others other than Mano, because he calls us every week. Where did you learn what you learned for a relationship? And if you did not learn it, how did you develop, to be able to say, care for your partner, show the little things? Now, very quickly, I have one of my nephews who I spent a lot of time with. Whenever I was out with him on the street, we went to the grocery, I would say, come, let's buy some flowers for your mom. He would then take it and he'd go, here, Mom, this is for you. Or he'd just put it on the kitchen table and say, Mom, that's for you. And he'd run off. And I'd pull him back and say, no. You have to make sure that goes into flower. Those flowers have to go into water. And that's how he was learning how to treat a female. Because he had to treat his mother, he had to treat his sister. And then, of course, now my brother-in-law, he would, buy flowers to my sister for their anniversary, her birthday, Valentine's, etc., etc. So they had the example of what to do and how to treat, the woman in your life like a princess, how to treat, for the women, how to treat the men in their life like a prince. So to the listeners, I'd like to find out from you, what influenced you to do those little things in life? Because there's those little things that count, that matter. Not looking at anyone in particular. How to remember birthdays and anniversaries.
I don't.
I know you do. That's why I said I'm not looking at anyone in particular.
I don't, but I do in terms of, now to me, and this is why it's important, right? And I'll tell you why it's important. That you understand the person that you are in a relationship with. Because if it is, I'm not going to pretend to you and operate and get on like I'm this occasion celebrating kind of person. Hear what's going on. This is me. This is my life. You like it or you don't like it. You have the choice to continue or to discontinue the
but
subscription.
If you love her, it
don't have nothing to do with love. If it is, no, because at the end of the day, what we have to understand is, I'm going and pretend and do it for the first 8, 9, 12 years. And at the 13th year, I go right back to me, and then here we're going and say, he don't love me, but I was pretending for 12 years.
Some men don't even reach 12 years. So it might be 12 weeks.
So it's the same thing with the man and the cereal. He was running up and down like a headless chicken all over the place, looking for cereal for this woman. Month after every single time the cereal jump out, he get fed up, and then hear what she say. The relationship in problems now. But the thing about it is, when you really check, he must be didn't like to really go and look for cereal. Oh, woman, oh, God, get up and go and look for cereal. Oh, God, is he saying like wash the wares?
Or maybe, too, that maybe she started doing things that he didn't like. Now, remember, too, for some people, it's they think, oh, how cute, how lovely. And then as they start going further into the relationship, those little things like, oh, it's so cute, he leaves his socks by the foot of the bed. That starts to annoy.
Until it started smell stinky.
But let me read some comments quickly from WhatsApp, from Facebook. So Donna says, me ain't getting no to banker, truck, motorcycle, train, car, plane, nothing. And then Listra says, Donna, you ain't made the right man yet. So then she also has Listra says, Donna, I had to ban train one time. That is why I don't like riding the train.
Okay.
Donna says, I was there, done that.
But the thing about it is, right, and this is what is important, and we need to understand, in a relationship, we have to know what we're going for. So I'll give you all a quick story here. Now, this one real serious, and I want everybody's input on it, right?
And the numbers are on Facebook, or you can, if you have a pen to hand, you can dial 342-0081 or 466-5391. 342-0081 or 466-5391. So do call in and let's have a chat. Dale.
So hear what I'm saying, right? So this person is in a relationship. They met this guy. And let's go further. It's a Christian relationship. So they're trying to follow the principles of the Bible. And I was hearing somebody talking the other day about that, and I think I'll do research. Where is the scripture that says you're not supposed to have sex before marriage? Anybody ever read that scripture? But anyhow, they went into it as we're not having sex before marriage. We're doing the godly thing. And they had a nice little relationship. He proposed to her. They got married. They got married. They got married. They would have been in a relationship for about 3 years. Never had sex. Got married. 9 months into the marriage. Never had sex.
Okay. Why?
So then she started to question, why it is they're unable, why it is, nothing isn't happening. And she started to question, in terms of, is it me? You're not attracted to me? What is happening? This, that, and the other. So they went and they did, she did tests. You know what I'm talking about? They did tests. They did tests. She went to the doctor to find out, if he has an ED, which is erectile dysfunction, or sugar, or some hormonal imbalance, or anything like that. And the doctor said he's perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. Nothing is wrong with him. Lo and behold, coming into it, she would have then, trying to figure out, what is happening. My husband is not
attracted to me.
Attracted, aroused, whatever the case may be. She started to go through his computer and phone.
Oh, no.
And going through his phone and computer, in fact, his computer, she found a search history.
Okay.
With the same sex.
Uh-huh.
So he was looking at the explicit of the same sex, right? And that destroyed her.
Yes. I think it destroyed me too.
It destroyed her because she was like, why couldn't I not see the signs?
Yes.
I'm married to a man that doesn't like women.
Yes.
And now I'm stuck in a place where, and this one is tricky, and I'll go out to people who in the Christian community as well. I've practiced being a Christian, doing the right thing as to the Lord.
Yes.
Get married to a man who doesn't like women. I can't put him on blast.
Yes.
Because I'm a Christian and I probably hold a certain portfolio in the Christian community.
Yes.
And it'll be even more embarrassing for me to come out and say that my husband is he's gay, right?
Yes.
My thing is, what do you do? Because one of the things that her options are is get a divorce.
Yes.
Or get a annulment.
Yes.
Right? Now with annulment, it's like you never get married.
Yes.
But the marriage was never consummated in the first place. So, getting annulment is nothing. Yes. But then, the man is now publicly and pretending that, everything is honky-dory with him and his wife. They're separated. She lives one way, he lives the other. He still has her up on social media and all these different things.
Yes.
And, he's pretending and telling people, we in a relationship, things good. When we have it plenty of that, and this time nothing happening.
Often it's to save face. I've heard about stories like that. I've read about stories like that. And it's often to save face.
What would you do in a situation like that? If you were the person to be
I am kind of the wrong person to ask that question, because I consider myself to be more spiritual than Christian or any particular relationship.
So what you do? You pray for him?
I'll be going for the divorce or annulment, because for me, it's not so important in terms of society or what society thinks about me. It's more important about me having my life and being true to myself. Now, we've got a caller who's coming through.
And guys, the phone lines are open, 3420081 4665391. You could also call us on WhatsApp as well. Caller, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dale. And well, I didn't get the young lady and the other gentleman's name.
Good afternoon.
You are. No, it's quite interesting listening to you all profiling on the dear, so I tell myself, I said, let me enter the conversation. Now, people say, as the lady said, well, she has to deal with, he has to deal with himself and she has to deal with what he is. That, so I can't really say much in that.
Right.
But that's true, right? No, okay. I never liked texting. I never thing, right? But no, I'm a blogger. At the same point in time, now I deal with what you call let's use sexually explicit blog, where we basically I mean, if I could give you a small illustrations on the radio, you can start. You may be talking about basically passing your hands down the back of the ears, coming down the neck, and going down. And
so erotic vlogging.
Right.
Right.
But first I never liked texting, but now that is what as a public figure now those is what really I do conscious on other blogs and all kinds of but those are what basically gain my audience.
Right.
My audience is basically I keep having groups. Let me say good night to Miss Destra Garcia group, Miss Nadia Bastian group, and the MP for Dabney O'Mara group, and all these groups that basically think, right? Your audience is in the millions, but those are what basically usually capture the audience. When you're finished with one of those blogs, you can you'll see basically when it comes up, you'll get maybe your likes is in the keys.
Okay.
So that's
it's like our OnlyFans with words.
Well, yes. But I do. But strangely enough, my blogs do attract people from not only from OnlyFans, but basically from just fans and other things.
Right.
Okay. They start following you because of this blog. And it's interesting. Now, here what I told you, I never really liked texting, but I have to do that constantly every day because there are different groups and the different audience that you have. The true notification prices straight to the platform, and you can do different things. I have I'm in the Hindu groups, Muslim groups. I have dating sites for Muslim people, and I have to deal with. But those is what basically captures the audience.
Okay.
And by nature, I don't express myself. I'm quite timid and all these sort of things. But basically, those are what I produce out of my timidity. And next side of me, basically, I'm learning parts of my own self.
I just want you to know. You have a real big invoice at 91.9, eh? For you just try every day to try and smartly promote yourself on the phone, eh? I watch it, I just let it. I watch it.
But Kola, if I may ask you, given all this texting and blogging you do you have any thoughts or opinion on what the wife should do, or what the husband should do, or what both of them as a couple ought to do?
Because basically, if that is basically if he wants to go and pretend himself, then basically he still will be unhappy within himself because he's not being truthful to himself. So he's not really free to express himself when he is out wherever he is. He always has to be like in a straitjacket. So he will totally be unhappy because if it is that basically he's dealing with that secretly. The wife.
But that's the thing. The thing about it is that people like him, they only get married so that they can make themselves feel better about themselves in the public domain. But really and truly, they're not about that life, you know?
And there's also the thing about... There's also the thing about community, what the community is going to say about them. Because unless you're married, and I think that's still the case today, that if you're not married by the time you are 30, then you are deemed to be, especially for the female, you know, of not of value, right? I have a former classmate that she was from Scandinavia, and she got married at the age of 29, just before her 30th birthday, because she said if she didn't do that, she had been given a pound of salt by her friends. The salt, because they felt she would have needed seasoning to help her to become attractive.
So in Chinese, and basically as I'm learning and having audience in all those places, it's also in African culture, certain African cultures. What you consider after a certain age, and in Indian culture, also that basically they consider what we'll call our old maid. After you're reaching the like the 30s and all sort of thing, you come like you're off the shelf. It's a cultural setting, and that has to, those cultural barriers has to break because basically it also creates psychological effects and mental disturbances. If you do check the records of a lot of those countries, they do would have high levels of mental disorders within in their countries.
Okay.
That
thank you, caller. We're going to have to start wrapping up, and I just like to make a couple of comments on the Facebook page. Donna says, Listra says, if a man cannot treat his mother with love, he cannot treat a woman right. And I would say that same thing goes towards women as well.
I beg to differ. No, they're lucky that the condom is on and we only have like a minute on something.
Yeah.
But I beg to differ because if a man or a woman doesn't treat his mother right, as you say, quote unquote, that they can't treat a woman or another man, if it's a man and woman or a man or woman, that is untrue. That is false. I can debunk that, but I do not have time because at the end of the day, if you don't have a good relationship with your parents, your parents are stuck in their ways, you stuck in your ways. We can't see eye to eye. That means I find somebody who I love, I can't love them. Come on,
It's how you would show that love, but we could pick up on that next week.
We'll pick up on it.
Give our listeners, a few days to mull it over and come back with, their thoughts on that.
Yeah. But I have some stories and stuff, guys, so I know that next week, every week we will pull a story. That story was one. We'll post it up and get your comments and you'll see whatever and we get a synopsis on it. And of course, next week again, as every time we come, the show's going to gradually have upgrade states until we reach to that point where, we have the bodyguards and it's going to be fun.
And the blackened windows.
Yeah, no, it's going to be
if
fun.
licensing will allow us.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. You're pulling up on your... What are you doing here? Okay. Yeah, you see, we catch him. There's, simple things, but it's all in all to mostly to educate. Because these are conversations that people need to have. Yes. I had a friend, we sitting down and she talked and she was like, boy, you have any friends that single, that looking for somebody? Because I have a friend, she was in an abusive relationship. She needs somebody. She lonely, she depressed, she's a nice person. And I'm like...
And you see the thing about abusive relationships?
Yeah.
We need to discuss why it is that men feel it's okay.
But it happens both ways, eh?
Yeah, I know.
But remember, abuse is not only physical.
Yep, not
abuse
mental,
is vocal,
psychological.
You understand? But
silent treatment.
But anyhow, I can't say what I want to say. But women force men to be abusive too as well. Verbally.
No, Dale?
Yes.
Boxing gloves coming out.
It's a women who like to play victim.
Next week.
They like to play victim too.
Men too.
Yeah, women just play victim more than man. Anyhow, we'll be back after the break. Not after the break. Where we going? Up next.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Slow gospel music with Lester Suklal. So keep it locked to the Street 919 FM.
Expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Lift your hands, everybody. Team, begin to lead us as we worship the Lord. Come on.
You're the God who never changes. eternal, we cry out to the